Welcome to the Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. This is a wonderful Tuesday live stream. Just a little past 420. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Fresh and Deezy, making the most of the moment. What's going on, gentlemen? How is your Tuesday so far?
I'm feeling very recessed, bro.
My hairline is, for sure.
Damn.
Well, I learned today that I'm not receding the way I thought I was. No, there's no black paint in my hair.
I think I'm a little bit recessed out here. It's in the family. Give me another 10 years. I'll have a, they call it a skullet, bald up here and then all the hair back there. Anyway.
It's platinum pink and a Bananas Foster backwoods. Backwoods, hit me up. You by now you should already know you got to sponsor the show.
It's true. Backwoods, hit us up. We got two big fans here. I'm a fan, but I don't really smoke, so what are you gonna do? But these two guys love your shit, so hit us up. Let's get a deal. Let's work out a deal. Kind of like the ultimate deal maker in chief, Mr. Donald John Trump, Mr. President, number 47. Let's just call a spade. First of all, where does that come from? Calling a spade a spade. Is that something we gotta ask Grok or something?
Yo, yeah,
all
it
right.
is. Where's chat, bro? Ask.
We ain't got no chat. Chat. What does a spade mean? You know what I'm saying? Because why can't the spade be a heart? Why can't a spade be a diamond? Why can't a diamond be a diamond and a heart be a heart? I don't know. It never made sense to me. But anyway, somebody look that up. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But
it originates from ancient Greece and has evolved over time. It comes from an expression by the poet Menendez, who wrote, "I call a fig, a spade, as a way of emphasizing plain, straightforward speech."
So it's not a spade on a card. He's talking about like a spade, a gardening spade or a shovel.
I know, but I mean, you just pick two things
out.
And
say
those
what
things
you
are
mean,
what they
bro.
Are.
He says, "Say what you mean, bro. Say with your fucking chest."
I know. I'm just curious why he picked a spade and a flower. What was the first thing? A fig.
He said, I call a fig, and a spade. He calls it. It's like saying, "I tell it how it is." That's pretty much what that phrase is.
I know, but why Meander? Why Meander make the decision on what's what? I'm just saying.
It is funny that his name is Meander.
The beginning of the show is kind of
it's Menendez. Sorry, I'm half blind. I wear glasses. It's Menendez. I missed it.
Bro.
Menendez.
Grok told you his name's Menendez, and chat told me his name was Plutarch.
That's probably the different names for the same people.
Yeah, these ancients had like multiple names and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just have one name. So anyway.
Oh, he actually said to call a trough and a boat a boat.
What?
And then when it went to Latin, it changed to digging tool.
All right. Well, let's just move on. This is getting. I'm almost bored now. Okay.
So go to sleep.
Plutarch, shout out. Okay. Well, like I was saying, deal maker in chief, Donald John Trump. He's saying, boys, we got to put up with some fucking recession. All right. We got to recess a little bit before we can get to excess. That's what he's saying.
Did he say that?
I mean, he didn't say it like that. I said it like that, but he was asked by Maria Bartolomo. I don't know how you pronounce her name, but Maria asked him, "Hey, yo, as we get in a recession," he was like, "Yeah, we get in one. At least till September," is what he's saying, because we got to fix a bunch of stuff in the government. The stock market's overinflated. The Fed don't want to comply. And so, look, we're going to have a recession, and the American people are just going to have to tough it out. We're going to have to unite behind this effort to fix our country Something to that effect. He didn't say all that. I'm extrapolating from what he said. But anyway, I know Deezy, you were saying that this is what we got to do. What do you think? Is this because the stocks are crashing and it's pandemonium right now?
Listen, when he got elected, he said interest rates will be coming down. That's what he said. He didn't say that. He didn't say how, but he said that interest rates are going to come down. So the Fed's not going to listen to him. They're going to do whatever they want. But if they force their hand to make money less expensive because there's a recession going on, then they'll lower the interest rates, and that'll kickstart the economy because people will have access to cheaper money, you know. Gotcha. So it might be a short-term pain for maximum gain situation is kind of what I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I mean, Trump was saying that we're about to be more rich than we could ever imagine. Now, sometimes people say hyperbole, you know, sometimes you got to hype someone up. And I guess this is a bigger question in general. If your boy's down and out, if the situation's bad, should you just tell the truth, or should you should you hype them? Because sometimes you hype someone out of a rut. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think?
I think you should hype them up, man. You gotta hype them up. Yeah.
We're on the ocean. The ship has sunk. We're hanging out in a dinghy. The sharks are circling. In that situation, you're saying hype us up. We're gonna get out of this mess.
Look, if it's us three in that boat, I'm gonna need you boys to lie to me. Be like, brother, you got it. You can go in there and you're gonna bite the shark, bro. You're gonna scare them off. You're gonna bite it, then it's gonna scare them all off. You got this, bro. And I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna try to save us. It may be the only way we get saved.
Right.
Maybe I die, maybe I save us. But if you guys are all sitting there, I don't know, bro. We're just gonna die of hunger, and it is what it is.
I mean, look, the classic saying is where there's a will, there's a way. So you got to create the will first. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got the will,
that saying come. No, I'm just joking.
This Plutarch guy said that we got to have a will to have a way. So you might have to tell a lie. It might be okay to lie in that situation to get your homies to believe, to have faith, and then that faith transfers into the synapses of your mind, and then your mind starts expanding, and then all of a sudden a solution presents itself. Maybe.
Look, the economy's just been held up and propped up by the banks and by the Fed, and all of the value that we see in the stock market and all that shit is mostly fake.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Yeah, bro.
It's true. So,
do you guys want to see what Trump said for real?
Or all right, let's see what he said.
Want to watch it?
Yeah, let's see it.
No audio.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
It should have audio. That's so weird.
So we could put up the transcript or something.
No, you have to share it again.
Share it again. For the people watching currently, what do you guys think? Where can they comment and we can see it? That's my question.
They can comment anywhere. I'm watching comments on all the platforms right now.
All right, comment wherever you are. What do you think about this recession that we're going to have? Is it long overdue? Do you believe Trump that, hey, we got to take a little short-term pain for long-term gain? Let us know. Maybe one of y'all is an economist. Maybe one of y'all's, a Keynesian or an Austrian economist. You can tell us your side, your viewpoint on all this.
Listen, I definitely just got off the phone with one of my favorite lenders. His name's Myron Chamberlain out here, Prime Lending in Phoenix, Arizona. We're hoping we can get him on the podcast, but he said that he sees some positive movement, at least for the mortgage industry in the next couple of months, and he said within the next 18 months he could see rates coming down a lot faster than people expect. So which would be great. And there's a lot of people waiting to refinance mortgages that they just got these last couple of years and in the 6-7% range. And if there's a fall to like 4%, I mean, be a lot of money for people to go spend. They won't be spending that on the mortgage anymore. They'll be able to put that towards other stuff, maybe invest into stocks, crypto, who knows? There'll be more free money in people's pockets. If that gets compounded with a cut to income taxes or completely getting rid of income taxes, then like think about what that could do for the economy if there's not 30% of everybody's wages going to the federal government.
Right. Well, another classic saying, and we'll get to the Trump video after this, but another classic saying is never let a crisis go to waste. So you might need to create a crisis so that Trump can come out and say, yo, it's the Fed's fault. It's Congress's fault for not doing X, Y, and Z, for not getting rid of these taxes, the IRS's fault. So it could be a thing where you got to create a crisis.
And like this, the thing about this is like it's going to be used to blame Trump, but he would be right in saying that it's all of their fault. Like these people have been running our country and deciding the spending and budgeting for the country for 40, 50, 30, 20 years in different cases. And they are directly responsible for the problem that we face today. They are, because they pass the laws and they spend the money and they use, the law and the threat of force or jail in order to make you follow the laws that they don't follow. It's insane.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, regardless of what he's doing at this point, I kind of trust him, right? Like everything that it's been like these, wild thing. And every time I'm like, yo, just see what he's actually trying to get. And at this point, it's like, he's proved that, right? Look what happened with the EU. They're like,
right.
He's like, no, you guys got to secure your own borders. And they're like, fuck this guy, Trump. We'll show him. We'll secure our own borders.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Okay. So like, what's he trying to get out of this?
Okay. Well, let's see what he said. Let's see what he said.
Let's see what he says.
Yeah.
Let me stay on the economy for a moment, because there are rising worries about a slowdown. You've got the Atlanta Federal Reserve saying we're going to have a contraction in the first quarter. Look, I know that you inherited a mess, and you said that the other night.
I've only been here.
But are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition, because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America. That's a big thing. And there are always periods it takes a little time. It takes a little time.
Can you give us a sense of whether or not we're going to get clarity for the business community?
Well, I think so. But, the tariffs could go up as time goes by, and they may go up. And, I don't know if it's predictability. I think
that's not clarity.
No, I think that they say that. It sounds good to say. But for years, the big globalists have been ripping off the United States. They've been taking money away from the United States. And all we're doing is getting some of it back. And
so anyways, I mean.
So, okay, he didn't say we would. He said there will be a period of transition.
Yes.
We go in trans for a little while, is what he's saying.
I'll be honest with you, bro. For the most part, I agree with him.
Yeah.
I don't see that he said anything wrong. Even if he would have said there might be a little recession, I don't think he would have been wrong in saying it.
Listen,
right?
Listen, I'm a Austrian economics guy. And I understand, though, if you make too drastic decisions, it can really mess with people who don't deserve it. But my thing is like, look, take all this dumbass USAID money and all that shitty money going to the government, cut the IRS out, get rid of all these dumb taxes. I mean, the Fed's going to be a harder nut to crack. I don't think, people really got to want the Fed gone. But, do that stuff, take as much money of that as you can, and maybe, send us all a stimulus check. I'd like a 10K stimmy personally out of that batch of a couple billion. You know what I'm saying? I think we should all get one. We do that. We have a stimulus, and that'll help us weather the storm. I can buy me a lot of eggs with that. And
egg prices today, speaking of that, just dropped by $2, putting them cheaper than when he took office. This is the point, right?
Golden age of America's back, baby.
Golden eggs for the golden age, baby.
Yo, check this out. You know how we owe like $37 trillion of debt, right? As a country, something like that. What if he's using these tariffs on all these countries that we owe money to in some sense of a fashion, and can negotiate dissolving those debts for no tariffs or some kind of agreement.
So
Like,
for
sure.
the most part, I think that it could work out, right? My problem with this is I'm not really sure he understands the way business works between Canada and the US. Like, for example, he's attacking Canada, saying like, whoa, Canada rips us off on dairy taxes, right? And like, we do have a tariff on dairy for the US, right? However,
240%.
but that tariff, there's a threshold which the US has never met to date, has never met this threshold where it's free. Before you get to this certain point, it's free. Then if you get past here, you're going to start affecting Canadian dairy farmers. You're going to have to pay for that. But up until this threshold, which again, US has never met, you have never sent even close to the amount of dairy to hit the threshold set by Trump in his last term. Why does it matter? Like, do you expect Canada to not protect their dairy farmers?
Okay, so not to switch topic, but I have a theory, an alternate theory on this tariff stuff, and I have no basis for this. If you are an economist, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, or if you're in the State Department, tell me I'm right or wrong. Okay, but here's my theory. We have to ask ourselves, why does the world allow us to have this size of debt, or why have they allowed us, right? And I don't see the debt as debt, or I mean, it is debt, obviously, but all I'm saying is the debt is payment for protection. That's kind of how I look at it. It'd be like, you ever seen Goodfellas? You know what I'm saying? All the gangsters are hanging out in that bar at the beginning, you know, when Joe Pesci's, you know, saying, you know, how, you know, what do you think I'm funny or whatever that whole thing is, right? And
Funny
they're hanging
how?
out in there.
I'm a clown.
Yeah, funny how, right? Okay. So all those gangsters are hanging out, and that dude walks up to Joe Pesci and he's like, yo, you got to pay your bill, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm, you know, da, da, da. And Joe Pesci basically like, you know, kick rocks, right? And the reason you can say that is because the money that was lent to that place, you know, for whatever, protection, whatever, was lent by the mob. So these are mobsters. They literally do actually own the place, and they can go in there and do what they want, right? And in return for that, usually what happens is there's protection. If anybody acts up in that place, they get kicked out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I kind of see it as similar to what our foreign policy after World War II, which is that you got the Russians, you got the Chinese, you have the threat of communism around the world. And so having a unity globally and having controlled chaos, right, is the way to stop, you know, communism and Marxism from spreading. They would rather have, like, the policy at that time was containment, and the idea was like, okay, fine, there's a war in Vietnam or a war in Korea or whatever, but by there being this war there, or you know, Africa's a mess, or South America's a mess, but by having things be kind of whatever there, it allows for our interest to be there to control the situation, and we provide the military, the armaments. We make sure the waterways are policed so that there's no piracy. Like, the United States becomes the imperial, you know, power of the world to fight the communists, and we provide all the military and all the funding, and that's why we're able to run up these massive debts. Because, hey, listen, you want us to, you know, Vietnam and Thailand, you want us to negotiate a peace with you in our State Department, like, or keep you guys in check? Well, you know the price, right? So what I think is going on, or might be going on, is that if you cancel the debt and you get rid of the debt, it's one of those things where you can't have the countries of the world suddenly going, oh, wait, we put up with all this shit because you were supposed to come over here and meddle in we want you to meddle in our affairs. Like, we're Ukraine. We want you to meddle in our affairs, the people that are there that support the United States. So that way we can make sure Russia doesn't come in here, right? That's a perfect example, is Ukraine. Like, why are we there? Why are we meddling? Part of it is like, okay, American empire, but or NATO empire, Western empire, whatever you want to call it, you know. The other reason, though, I think, is because, like, we kind of have to. The expectation in the United States is when stuff like this happens, you know, for all that debt that we have, the United States has to intervene. That debt we have makes weapons, and we kind of have to send those weapons. So my point is, I think what might be happening here is, if you want to come back to just being the United States, you don't want to be a policeman of the world. You don't want to be imperialist power. You just want to mind your own business, live off your own production, and do your own thing. Then you're gonna have to transition these other countries back into what it was before, which is that they have their own defense, they have their own affairs. They're not weaning themselves on the tit of America. You know what I'm saying? That big old fat titty. They ain't sucking on that no more. All right. And I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, in order to transition the United States back to being its own power and within its own borders, you got to kind of like set the rest of the world up so that they can handle whatever they might have
So,
come. Because if we get out, it might lead to, you know.
Yeah, but like, so here's the thing, right? Is like, is he going to just say, well, listen, bro, like, it's not debt. You were paying us for protection. You stop paying, you stop getting protected. And he's going to take that as like a payment. He's like, listen, bro, you guys, whatever. And then maybe give them like some weapons. Be like, hey, listen, bro, this is what we could do for you. We'll give all these countries a little defense package. But now you guys, it's like a severance package, you know, but now you guys can't call on our army anymore. Yeah. I mean, it
would make sense. And then, but here's the thing. A lot of European
countries. What does that mean for the US though, bro?
Well, first thing is that a lot of these countries have enjoyed the benefit of that, right? Like Japan doesn't have now Japan's starting to put together their own military again, right? That's what they're saying, I think.
But do you understand how the rest of the world sees it? Because it's not just like, it's not that the rest of the world hired the US. The US bullied their way to be that. You know what I'm saying? Sure. They're like, you guys are not allowed to make your own weapons. You guys are not allowed to whatever. You have a cap on what you can spend on your military. You have to buy it from us. Like, so it kind of seems like a gotcha on both sides, right? Because it's not like I feel like you're getting mad at the people who you've set up to be in the positions they are in. Right. You wanted everybody in these positions, and now you're mad that they're in them. Like, it doesn't, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I feel you on that. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand also on the flip side, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that sometimes if someone's too dependent on you and you put it in that position, the only way you can get them out of that position is that you just got to freaking go hard. You know what I'm saying? I think, and it's like what they're saying. I mean, maybe we can go ahead and move on to this. I don't know, but with Elon and Doge, I was listening to NPR with my mom. I was taking her to Jacksonville yesterday. We listen to NPR because she's not ready. Maybe she is actually. I don't know. She ain't ready for the base yet. I don't know. But in NPR, every single thing on NPR is like somebody bitching, like some government worker bitching about how they don't have a job and they don't know what to do. And one of the things that I heard this woman being interviewed say was, it's cruel, it's unkind, it's wrong for you to just throw us out into these streets without any forewarning and blah, 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 which I don't agree with, because I think they get like 8 months worth.
Well, I would also say, like, justify that to me. Explain to me how it's morally wrong to stop somebody from stealing, regardless of the impact. Like, you understand that, again, let's say I own a grocery store, right? You're broke. You have a family to feed. If you steal from the grocery store and I stop you, like, I'm not now the bad guy because you can't feed your family. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Fresh. You're the bad guy, Fresh. My family needs Chef Boyardee's spaghetti and meatballs. We need Captain Crunch.
Guess what?
We need Diet Pepsi Cola.
Guess what?
And you're going to keep it for us.
No, because you're the dickhead. We're a community. You could have came and asked me, hey, bro, look, I'm down on my luck. Let me hold a few things to get by for the week. Maybe I'll pay you back. Maybe I won't. Even just say you're going to pay me back. Fuck. Like, you know what I mean? But like, to just straight up steal from somebody, then the person who catches you, they're not the bad guy. Sorry. And I understand, like, the people who are getting fired didn't directly steal, but you are working for a group of people who stole. We got to stop the whole group. That means you have no job. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, how is that wrong?
And I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here, because I agree with you. Stealing is wrong. And the civilized way of society is to offer something of value and convince somebody one way or another that, hey, voluntarily they should, help you out. And they could be that you go into the grocery store and you say, I got all these problems. They go, well, help us do some shit in the back to whatever, and I'll throw you a couple of bucks, or you can get the leftover food or whatever, it's one of those weird things though with kind of trying to bring it back to center, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, with everything that's going on, there's just a lot going on, and Trump's right. We are in a period of transition, economic transition. I'm not sure exactly what the cards being played are. Part of it is that you got to kind of keep them on the DL because you can't give up what you're doing. There may be, because we talked about this last time, there may be multiple things that have to happen in a certain sequence. This is complicated. You got entire continents that are dependent on American defense. You know what I'm saying? You got people that are in nefarious positions that want the United States to crumble, both inside the country and outside the country. So you're going to deal with those issues, like with Mexico, you got this cartel thing or whatever that is. You got, immigration stuff. So, I mean, it's a really complex picture. I'm not sure. I don't know. But one thing I do feel like is like, we got to get those taxes cut. Like significantly. If he's going to do all this tariff shit and all this other stuff, we got to get taxes cut. Otherwise, people are not going to put up with this shit.
I truly believe he's trying to completely get rid of it and just do the external revenue.
That's going to happen, bro. And like, again, I was listening to Charlie Kirk, and that he was saying like federal income tax, 10% across the board is with these tariffs and whatever is likely how the government would be able to survive.
I guess my question is, I don't know anything about these numbers. Might have to go into Perplexity or something and do that deep research. But if you're gonna run tariffs, it's a tax on the people. No two ways around it. And we get a lot of shit from China, and we get all of our shit from China. Like it's
temporary tax. It's a temporary tax on the people versus income taxes, which are just fucking permanent every year over and over. The thing with the tariffs is it's supposed to incentivize businesses to start creating products here in the United States, thus driving the prices down on those products for the companies that choose to come here, giving more jobs to people that are local and overall better for the economy. That's the goal, right? Tell these companies, why are you producing everything outside of the U.S.? We have plenty of land, factories. You actually closed all your shit in the United States to move it out of the country, and you could have just kept producing in the United States. So,
well, because I pay pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean that what they're doing is right. We want child labor and fucking, like pretty much indentured servitude creating the products, and we don't know the true like sourcing of the things that we're buying because they're coming from different countries. Who are we funding with that money too? Outside of the companies moving out, like what are we funding by buying products that are all made in China? Think about that. Like we got to be directly paying for China to fucking grow and become it's not so much a developing nation anymore. It's a superpower, and we've been buying all of our goods from there. It's probably not a good thing. Why can't we just make it here?
So the question I have for you guys, both personally and in general for the country of the United States, do we have the patience and the willingness to take a haircut, to take the pain? Will Americans be willing to take the pain of a recession? Because what you're talking about, Deezy, I agree with you, but this shit isn't going to happen magically. Like, I mean, it's going to take at least a couple of months for a lot of these companies to detransition or whatever, like to move all their shit back to the United States and maintain the same amount of like productive capacity and get these prices down. It's going to take maybe years.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the American people are like, if your iPhone, listen, I mean, this iPhone is already expensive. And you got these Congolese little children digging through that dirt and getting their hands blue with cobalt. I mean, I'm just saying, like, sure,
it's only that way. It's only that way because of the open market that you love so much. iPhone doesn't take iPhone $1,000 to make these phones, bro. It probably takes them like fucking less than 100 per phone to make. Probably way less than that.
I don't know, man. If we transition to Appalachian kids digging through the dirt in North Carolina to get that lithium, and that won't happen in the United States because we don't have child labor, right? So it's going to be
Listen, you got to
machines
understand
and adults going.
You got to
and
understand
getting
how what you just said is actually not good for the open market, because how are local people with less resources supposed to compete with super businesses that are using young people and children in other countries and paying them pennies on the dollar to create their products, ship them in, and they still have a lower cost basis than someone trying to make them locally? How is somebody supposed to compete with that in the US? And then you just end up getting a bunch of companies making products outside of the United States, and all the mom and pops go away, and you got Amazon. That's it.
Listen, man. I mean, okay, we can. I mean, this brings up the next topic, right? This is the first example. We're seeing it publicly. Tesla, Elon, the stock market crashing. Like, people are freaking out about all this. You know what I'm saying? They're freaking out about all this. And I mean, they're already going after Elon for a little drop in Tesla. After all these years, Elon and all of the development that we have gone through and all of the genius that Elon has brought to the table. And one day we get a little bit of a dip in Tesla and everybody's attacking him. And they're bringing up these videos where he's like, I'm doing Doge, but yeah, you know what? These businesses, it's hard. It's hard to manage 7 businesses and top of the mountain businesses, and on top of that, do Doge. And they're using that to make it look like it's the end of Tesla. I mean, this is what we're getting fed. And it's not even one day in. We haven't even kicked in most of these tariffs. So for me, I'm like, I don't know. Are the American people going to say, you know what, you fucking Wall Street idiots, whatever, we're going to deal with the pain. We're going to go through a recession/depression in the short term, because that's the Austrian economics way. Pop the bubble, take the pain, rip the Band-Aid off, and then as soon as it's off, now you have an open market and you can have more prosperity than ever. That's the Austrian economics method and the thing that libertarians have been advocating for. But the problem with that is that, can the people take that pain that they're going to have? That's going to be hardcore. I don't know.
Dude, I think people through COVID and Joe Biden for the past years have taken so much, all kinds of bullshit from so many angles, that if they voted for Trump, they're just going to sit by and watch what happens, because that's really all you could do at this point. Like, hopefully everything that he does has a net positive effect on the trajectory of the United States. But at the end of the day, it was going to come crashing down to a misery in the next couple of years anyway, to be honest. We're already on an unsustainable path, and the United States is likely to come crashing down and go bankrupt in the next couple of years anyways, if nothing gets done. So it might just be time for crazy action and, a little bit of prayer. Because
What'd you bring up fresh? What we got here?
This is Donald, Mr. 4547, coming to Elon's rescue, right?
Okay, what are you saying?
About them boycotting him and about whatever.
Wait, hold on. Before we get to this thing, what is the boycott exactly? Is it by butthurt liberals, or is it like a bigger thing?
Bro, it's like people setting Teslas on fire, trying to light the... Yes, like it's actual illegal boycotting. Like people... This is the thing that's driving me nuts with social media, right? Is like the left right now is on social media saying, boycotts aren't illegal. Boycotts aren't illegal. But fucking breaking into businesses, trespassing,
right,
breaking down windows, lighting shit on fire, that is not fucking boycotting or protesting shit. Right.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, that's just destruction of property.
Yeah. So you're committing crimes and then trying to act like, oh, a boycott is legal. Yeah, that's right. The not buying of the item is the only legal thing that you've done today.
Dude, and the funny part is, anybody doing fucking stupid shit to a Tesla is absolutely going to jail. Right. You got caught on like 20 cameras, bro. They got you from every angle.
They have what's called Sentry mode, and that shit, like, bro, it's active right now on Teslas that are like, you drive by the Tesla and the Tesla's got you. You know what I mean? It's a whole. I don't
Bro,
know.
they got your
It's a
heat
little Big
signature on
Brother,
LiDAR.
man.
That's they got your
Bro,
skeletal structure on the freaking LiDAR, probably. They got your genetic code, probably.
You can use Wi-Fi to find out where people are in their houses. The Wi-Fi signal. Like,
I mean, this I had this debate with I won't say who, but lovely young lady a while ago. Because we're meeting up for a date, and then she was joking, oh, like, I could be a psycho. I'm like, listen, first of all, I'm a little nervous now. Second of all, if you do anything, I mean, you might be able to get one of us got, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't getting away with it. I'm sorry. You got, for all y'all out there, and listen, I know it's a hard time in America. It's a recession. People are desperate. You might be considering a crime to be able to cover those debts, to pay for that Camaro you maybe shouldn't have bought. All right. I'm going to tell you right now, don't do it. You will get caught. You got Ring cameras all over the place. So you don't know when you're being filmed on a Ring camera. Half these crimes are being solved because of Ring cameras. That one dude who took his whole family out. What's his name? Psycho Man. Y'all ladies would know. You watch all that true crime. I'm just saying, he got caught on a Ring cam. That's how they got him. So you don't know who has a Ring cam. You don't know who has a Tesla, car cam. You don't know who has a camera at all these gas stations and places like that. You got satellites in the sky. So if you're one of those rural people and you think you can just do some rural shit and get away with it, nope. I just saw that Gabby Petito thing. They found her. All right. They found her in like a week in the wilderness. Don't do it. Don't commit crimes. It's over. It's over. We're living in.
So to summarize, if you're going to give your butt up for free because you got arrested for committing crime, you might as well just move to Vegas where prostitution is legal and at least get paid for it.
okay, so that begs an even more, like, a deeper question. Is it gay to be a criminal?
I mean, well, I'll tell you this much. Okay, I'll say this. This is going to be a controversial statement. If you are a criminal now, like that Mangione, what's his name, Luca Mangione? I don't know how they pronounce the name. Luigi, not Luca. Luca's the basketball player. He may have committed a crime. I don't know. But if you can be a Luigi, I think you're more badass now if you commit a crime like that. Is pretty badass now because it means that you're going to get caught. There's no way, like back in the Wild West where we, Billy the Kid and, whatever.
Okay,
Loco
but
Gonzalez and shit. Like
you know why Luigi's so cool? And this is like kind of where, if you're going to be a criminal, you got to be like a mastermind. Is bro left all kinds of clues, even where like the McDonald's and how far it was and all this shit. Like bro created a whole conspiracy around the shit. Like you can't just kill somebody. If you just kill somebody today,
not to mention,
you're just gay. You're just gay. You just want to go get your butt
made
took
a
in.
shit ton of adult content with women that got leaked after he got arrested. So he's got a bunch of porno videos out there
Get
too.
out of here. Really?
Yeah, I saw
a whole OF ring.
Bro, he's got some video content that's leaked since he's been arrested.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
I was watching that Charles Manson doc. There's one on Netflix. It got kind of boring after like the first 30 minutes, though, I have to admit. But if Charles Manson was alive today, he would just do OF and make a bunch of money and there'd be no problems. So maybe OF saves lives. Ever think about that? Ladies, if you want to do an OF, do it. You might be saving a life. Are
you saying Lily Phillips is out here saving lives, bro?
I think she is actually. This is okay. We're gonna get wild on this one. I don't even know where we're going. This is not in the program, but
you're Bonnie Blue. You gotta say both of them.
All bets are off, brother.
Listen. Lily Phillips. I didn't even think about this. So there's a video of her. So she, if for anyone doesn't know, who may be pure of heart, she's an adult performer. She has an OF, OnlyFans, for those who don't know. She, I think, enjoyed the company of 100 gentlemen, upstanding gentlemen. That was one night for her, 24 hours. I think she's aiming for 1,000 gentlemen entire theater at soon. But hold on. So
Body Blue already did that, just so you know. So they were like friends. This is how deep this goes. They were like friends, right? And one of them was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do 100 men in 24 hours," and the other one was like, "Maybe I'll do 1,000." And then they're like, not. I don't know if they're friends still, but I guess like someone said she stole my idea to do it, or blah blah blah, and now they're like just.
Okay, so here's where I'm gonna start trouble. I'm gonna start drama. By the way, Bonnie Blue, Lily Phillips, if you'd like to be interviewed on the Goat Show, y'all are goats. We'll interview you, and we'll give you a fair shake.
Bro, goat.
Beat me to it.
Listen, I think Lily Phillips is the more clever of the two, right? Because when Bonnie was like, "Wait, I'm doing 1,000. You need to figure out your own shit." Well, Lily did. You know what she figured out? She figured out going to the nursing home and finding these old gentlemen.
Oh, bro. Okay.
Lighting them up.
Is that
Smiles in their
bad
faces.
or is that the Lord's work, bro?
It's the Lord's work, man. Come on. She's probably going to extend their lives for probably another 10 years. She's going to give them a reason to live.
Shit.
Yo, bro.
I'm trying to think on who's more at risk: the old men who probably have a bunch of STDs, or the porn star who probably has a bunch of STDs.
Oh, the fucking porn star's more at risk.
Right.
Nursing homes are fucking disgusting.
Right. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Lily Phillips, we support you in your efforts. I think more women should follow your lead. Be a much more happier world. Let's save these old people. They got something to live for.
Bro. I quit, bro. This guy just said more people should follow your lead. No, don't follow her to the depths of hell.
What's wrong with what? Okay, let's talk this out. Look, other than potential trauma, psychological trauma, but the trauma came before. This is a way to work through the trauma, from my understanding.
All right.
Of things.
Before we get into trauma, I have a question. It's going in my head. If the roles are reversed, what guy is going to get away with having 100 women line up to fuck him in one day? Like, if the roles were reversed,
every guy.
No, not what guy wants that. What guy will be able to pull that off? Is the question.
True.
There are lots. Actually. I actually think there are a lot.
100 in a day?
A lot. Yes,
they're just all
a lot more than you think, bro. I think a lot more than you think, brother.
I'm not saying
selection is real, bro. This is 2025.
I'm not talking about libido. All right, I'm talking about
bro.
Like,
okay, let me.
Where are we going to get periods are at least 15 minutes, at least.
Okay, let me ask you something.
The point of this is
no, let me ask you. Hold on.
Okay.
Do you think somebody like Dan Bilzerian could fuck 100 women right now if he wanted to?
Not without.
So it has to be like big celebrity type.
He'd have to have injections and shit. There's no way. Because you could do like maybe
Bro, it's
three
not
an hour.
It's not about how many nuts you can do, if it's physically possible.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
If it's physically possible, can the man line up 100 women?
Oh yeah.
To fuck, absolutely, way more than you're giving credit to men for.
Yeah, Dippin' Dots. Just
20 or 30% of the men fuck all the women, of course, bro.
All right, perfect. So you're leading into my next point. ZiLLY, why don't you follow into her footsteps, bro? Just fucking go out there and start slaying bitches out there in Miami.
Listen. If I could, I would. I ain't there yet. Let's add 1 million followers on the Goat Show, and we'll see. And we'll talk.
This is when I gotta hype you up.
We will sponsor.
You know how we're talking about hyping you up?
Wait, one at a time. Okay, who's saying? Okay, Deezy, what are you saying, Deezy?
I was just saying this is the time that we gotta hype you up. You know, when the boat is sinking and like we're in the middle of the ocean with the sharks surrounding. This is the time, bro, where we hype ZiLLY up. You could do this, bro. You could fucking do this, bro.
Okay, listen. Stipulations. You can fuck the 100 women. You don't have to nut.
Right.
Nobody said you had to nut.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought we were talking about before, and that's impossible. There's just no way. I don't.
There's no way that she did. There's no way she came to completion 100 times.
Right. Well,
probably not even once.
I don't know. Women can do it. Women.
How many
I don't
men
know.
does it take to screw in a clip?
Oh my gosh, this has gone completely off. Let's get it back on the rails. Let's get back.
All right,
to
all right.
this.
We're gonna, we're gonna skip over Elon though. We're gonna go straight.
Well, okay. Well, Elon did have a rough week. We need to send Lily to cheer him up, and he needs, and maybe they can have.
Yeah, he might
little
impregnate her.
children together. Yeah,
Oh,
and Bonnie
God.
Blue. He needs Bonnie and Lily to cheer him up this week because man, what a rough week. Anyway,
Poor guy, bro. Poor guy.
maybe send him Michelle as well.
Women. See, Elon could do that. Elon could line up. Why doesn't he just pull the Bonnie Blue method? He's trying to make a bunch of babies. Why doesn't he just like fucking line them up, have like some potassium
No.
supplements, and just
Bonnie
like,
Blue? From what I've seen, she seems a little bit more dastardly than Lily. Lily seems like a more charming person than Bonnie Blue. I'm just being real. Maybe I'm wrong. If y'all want to,
They're both
if
whores.
y'all want to prove me wrong, just hit me up. We'll figure it out.
Who even knows how nice these people are, bro? Because this is the view that people get of them, right? Is
Mhm.
like you sell box on the internet. It doesn't matter, bro. Like it doesn't matter if these people are also doctors.
Look, Lily's the only one helping out the nursing home community, so that's it.
he is right. You could be a Nobel Peace Prize winner, but if you were also Kim Kardashian, everyone's just going to remember you had sex with Ray J on camera.
Oh
So
my gosh.
Bro, she's past the bar. She's a billionaire. You still brought up Ray J. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro.
Just goes to show.
Damn, it really is a big boys club, bro. The world.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Join it.
just like Michelle Obama.
It is a big boys world. Oh my goodness. So wait, so the rumor is you getting divorced?
So
Explain
it's not
to
a
us. What's going
rumor. It's
on?
not a
What's
rumor. So she's dropping a podcast with her brother, which I mean, bro. Anyways, and
Well,
then
they're they're bros.
yeah, they're brothers. Then
No, let me see the young picture. Let me see the young picture. Let me see
They're
the
gonna
then
young-
you
talk
go
about
to
it.
Vanity Fair, but then you go to Vanity Fair, and it says in the first episode of her new podcast, Michelle Obama dishes on family, friendship, divorce,
Mm,
and her 8 intense years in the White House.
So she is getting a divorce.
I mean, would you speak
Can
on
we
divorce if you
anybody
weren't
listen
getting
to it?
divorced?
Okay, you know what? Before we get into this, I have a question for you guys. Because we just made fun of her. Maybe we're being cruel, but there are rumors that Michelle Obama maybe not the gender that she's been presented to be. What would it take? Because from her position, it's a catch-22. Like imagine you are a woman, okay, and all of a sudden you get all these rumors and they're saying you're not a woman. Right? There's only one way to prove it. There's only one way.
There's actually 0 ways that Michelle Obama could prove it. Like, because it's not like you're saying, oh, like some random person. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We're talking
Mhm.
about somebody who was the first lady of the United States.
Right.
You know what kind of surgeries and kind of whatever that they could do that it could look all real. Who knows? Bro, she might be the first. This might be the first person who's born a male and has a uterus. They might have changed the bones. Who knows?
Actually, okay. Well, I mean, the one way, the funny thing is I was going to be like, the one way you could prove it was just whipping it out. But actually, or not doing it, but you're right. You can get an x-ray. Like, why? So here's the thing. Okay. Now I'm trying to figure out if this is like a Pocahontas kind of mind jujitsu thing. But couldn't she just get an x-ray? A live x-ray where you follow her. I'm on your side, Michelle. You know what? These two guys here, I'm on your side. All right. Here's how we're going to do it to prove you're a woman. Live stream, visit a doctor's office with an x-ray. Live stream the whole thing. She doesn't get to go anywhere. It's live stream. She gets the x-ray. We wait patiently with her. We follow the doctor and that we can do 2 screens. They're getting the x-ray as well. Okay. You can see the X-ray produce itself live, and then you put it up, and then, it's public. You can release the X-ray as a PDF online, and it can prove that she is a woman. She's got a uterus. Let's do it. Let's do it. Put all the rest. You'll have the crazies who will never believe it no matter what. But for the majority of people, it'll be like a flat earth moment in Antarctica. You know what I'm saying?
But listen, if you go so far to even do that, then you acknowledge all of it. So, like, if she ignores it, it gets dusted under the rug and people move on. She's getting divorced from Barry. And, she doesn't want to be tied to their chef who drowned in their lake, probably. There's a lot of shit that just happened circulating the Obamas, and for them to be getting divorced. I just have one question. What was the straw on the camel's back? If it wasn't the drone strikes, and it wasn't the drone strike,
first straw.
It wasn't the chef in the lake, it was Jennifer Aniston, the affair with Jennifer Aniston.
These white women coming in here and taking all our good black men. That's what's going on.
Kanye said it, bro. Soon as he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl.
Damn.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Well, you know what is happening?
So,
not to change the subject, but what is happening is
no.
The Indians and the blacks are uniting. Indian men, black women, because we're the least desired, So what are you gonna do?
Hey, yo,
we're gonna unite.
So,
it's true.
So Deezy,
based on
that's
actual
what you
data.
were saying. Even through all this shit with the divorce, with all this shit, all they're gonna do is call her next man gay. They're just gonna be like, oh, that guy's gay too.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so going back to what we're talking about, like, okay, imagine, Fresh, you had all these accusations that you weren't a man, and you had a vagine, right? And I kept texting you, show me Bob's and vagine, right, all the time.
I gotta get a beer before the CIA kicks my door down. Hold on, can't believe this.
Well, no. You got listen. If they kept saying that about my boy, I'd be like, Fresh, live stream X-ray. Well, actually, oh no, wait, no, yeah, you would show that you didn't have a uterus.
I would just, yeah, well, that works, but I would just like.
And testes.
I'd be like, no, we're gonna shoot a medical video, because you can show medical videos on YouTube. I just won't get hard in the video.
No,
you just show a medical exam.
That then get an X-ray that just you don't see anything, but you prove that you have
I'm dropping the Drake in bed schlong video. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's my
okay. As a man, you can just pull it, whip it out. Okay, fine. But as a woman, the fairer species, fairer gender, you gotta be a little more modest. And you're the first lady, the former first lady. You can't be doing that kind of stuff. You can't be going straight up Pornhub with it. You know what I'm saying? So just get a live streamed X-ray, and then when it comes back, she can gloat, like take it off the thing, and be like, she can be as freaking like, I told all y'all. Look at this X-ray. I'm gonna take a picture of it right now. You can all look at it right now. There's no, and there'll still be people that won't believe it. They'll be like, it's AI, blah blah blah. But most people, it'll put the rumors to rest. I'm just saying. I'm trying to think of solutions here, right? I'm trying to unite the people. I'm tired of this division that we have.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine a world where Michelle Obama was like, hi guys, I heard that everyone thinks I have a dick, so I'm gonna take you through a fucking medical facility and show you that I don't.
Hi guys, I heard everyone thinks I have a dick.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Michelle Obama here. I'm here to take you through my X-ray to prove.
Imagine that was the first episode of her podcast.
No, no. Imagine the first one's her with her brother, but the second one is the
I think I'm crying. The whole miniseries on TLC.
I think that would be a mega series. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
gosh, it would be unbelievable.
Because of the size.
TLC, get on it. Come on now. Get on it, TLC. It's for the health of the country. Listen, chat.
500-pound.
I know you guys are watching. What do you think? TLC miniseries. First lady gets X-rayed. Proves these haters and these conspiracy theorists wrong. I mean, they're actually not TLC, Netflix. The Obamas are part of the Netflix thing. It's just an X-ray. Like, it's not a big deal. You're not.
Bro, but like I agree with what Deezy's saying. Like, how do you reconcile that? Like, how do you bring that to the public? What do you like? Again, like, what does she say? Like, I heard you guys think I have a dick.
I think. Well, no, I think you could do it in a way. Okay, so man, I'm giving too much to Netflix. I think you could do it in a way where it would garner a lot of sympathy. Where she would be like, "Look, I keep getting these people, these dickheads over at the Goat Show talking shit. You know, I'm a, you know, whatever. And this is what I'm reduced to. This is what us as women are reduced to have to do when these, you know, crackpot conspiracy guys say all these awful things. She could get a lot of sympathy. It's a humiliation thing, right? They're in a humiliation ritual. So like it's a humiliation. So she can kill two birds with one stone. She can still be in the
Big Boys
Illuminati
Club.
for the humiliation of it all. And then she can also prove her way about what it is. Dude, there's just so many.
She should air they should bring back Mythbusters, and the first myth.
About.
No, I'm actually with Ravine on this one though, bro, because think about it. Like, it's just a bunch of pictures, like the intro. Nah, bro. It's gotta be like Michelle uncovered. And then it's gotta start off with like pictures of her from a baby growing up as a little as like the instrumental of In the Arms of an Angel is playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's gotta be, you gotta really make it sad, bro. You gotta be crying before the first words are spoken on that show.
Her brother needs to be like, you know, I've known Michelle my whole life, and this is an awful thing, and it's hurt the family, and you know, it's caused. Dude, they could blame the divorce on this. They could blame it on this.
When Barry would get mad at me, he'd call me Michael.
No, listen, you just say, you know, this whole thing put a strain on our marriage, and it pushed Barack into the arms of another woman. He couldn't feel attraction for me anymore, and it caused strife, and it ended my marriage.
Yeah, the crazy thing about that, dude, is now I've never seen this before, but as of late, now Jennifer Aniston is apparently a tranny too, according to the fucking conspiracy.
And that's hey, listen, Netflix, hire us. Illuminati, hire us, dude. We're giving you the great. So at the end of the show, we prove that Michelle is not a man, right? And then the twist is that they prove that Jennifer Aniston is. That's the twist. You got to leave him at the end. Dude. That's the water cooler moment. That's the, oh my goodness, holy shit. That's what's going to get everybody. That's when it's already going to get the hype, but you got to have something after the show airs that makes everybody go, holy shit.
In fact, Michelle needs to accuse. The goats on this show are for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect any reality whatsoever.
Listen. Yeah, if you haven't figured out this part of the show is satire yet, then move on.
I don't know. This guy, I kind of want to sell this fucking shit to Netflix. I think this is a Netflix people.
Bro, we're streaming live right now. Your idea is already being fucking algorithmed and fucking AIs. They're taking your words.
There's ideas and there's execution. We would know how to execute it better than anybody else, I think. So You know,
Definitely more than like lifelong executive producers for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you this
Yeah, those
much.
guys suck. Uppity tight asses.
Hey, listen. I think we'd execute it better than Ryan Murphy's Menendez Brothers series.
It should be by Michael Bay.
Hey, bro, I just
Just
want to
fucking
say there are less
Transformers.
mistakes. There's less mistakes in our editing, and our shit is way more highly branded than all these fucking shows on all these major networks, bro, including things on Netflix. So I think they should holler at us, to be honest.
Oh, that one was good. That one was good. You guys.
You know, it would be funny if we changed our outro to the Michael Bay thing right now and just ended it. But
Well,
yeah, let's
okay,
get into
let's-
these Menendez bros.
All right, so what's going on with the Menendez Brothers? Fresh.
So-
what's happening?
Apparently, there's like, well, not apparently, we know that they had like this effort to get them released, right? And now there's a new DA in LA. And this new DA is not having it, bro. He said that they've lied too many times about why they killed their parents in '89.
Okay, so just sorry, real quick, to just in case anybody has not heard about this case, I don't know who hasn't, but and there's a documentary and a series on Netflix that you can watch about this case. But Menendez brothers, you know, had rich parents living the life in Beverly Hills. One day, out of nowhere, these parents are killed by shotgun blasts. I mean, it was a grisly crime. And at first, no, it was everybody thought it was just a random act of murder in Beverly Hills, and the boys, the kids, Menendez brothers, were not even suspected in any way that they were involved in this crime. You know, because it was such a Beverly Hills, especially at that time, was so like this was a complete freak thing that occurred. So they were getting away with it. And then what happened was, I guess the one I can't remember. I think it's Lyle. One of the Menendez brothers just couldn't hack it. They couldn't, you know, they felt really guilty. He starts talking to a psychiatrist. It comes up. The psychiatrist is an enterprising sort. So he recorded them actually saying all this stuff, and then one way, I think the psychiatrist was cheating on his wife with some chick. That chick heard what happened, and then she was the one that went to the police, and then the whole thing blew open, and then the Menendez brothers were investigated. They got up in court. Their defense was that their pa was not a good guy. He grape soda'd them in really awful ways. But regardless, the jury still found them guilty. Now they're serving life sentences. But in the years since, a lot of people are saying, hey, like this was, you know, this was a crime that was done, I guess out of insanity or whatever. It wasn't necessarily a crime of defense, but it was, I guess, a crime of passion, maybe. I don't know. But they've served their time. Time to let the Menendez brothers go. They're not a threat to anybody. So on and so forth. Netflix series. I think Kim Kardashian even came out speaking in support.
Yeah,
of them.
she offered to represent them at one point or something.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying now, Fresh, that this new district attorney,
Yeah,
Nathan
so there's
Hochman,
a new DA. Yeah, Nathan Hochman. He said straight up, he's like, they're lying. They've lied how many times about like how they killed their parents and why they killed their parents. Yeah. So, in my opinion, I mean, it makes sense what he's saying, right? Like, I've even when we first heard about them, like when Kim was saying she would represent them, I don't agree with letting these people out ever, right?
Yeah.
I think that it goes deeper than the lies. It's definitely about like what actually happened in the moment. I don't think that there's like it's not excusable, right? So
okay, well let me ask this question to both y'all. You know, maybe we'll go with you, Deezy. Have you ever been so mad, Deezy, at someone that did you so wrong that you wanted to exact revenge on them? Have you ever felt that emotion? Not me, other people. Oh, you're on mute, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, generally that's kind of like a when you see red type of moment, and you're in for me, and it's like immediately, if I'm immediately angry about something enough, you're getting punched in the face. But I haven't just punched anybody in the face, so I mean, I have pretty good control over my emotions. But have I immediately wanted something negative to happen to somebody because they did me wrong in some way? Yeah. But generally over time, I just forget about those feelings and just like, whatever, good for them, bad for them, I don't care, you know?
Bro, I've definitely got get backs. Like growing up, whatever, we've definitely done like you hurt us, we're planning to hurt you type shit, revenge type shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I mean,
have you?
A lot of people have those. There's people now that if I really get into it and I think about it, about kind of some of the stuff that was done to me, bullying, whatever, like growing up, I could get myself in a place where I could really, be upset, fantasize. How about that? Fantasize about, man, yeah, I would love to, get some justice, right? But
sure, but you understand where it becomes a crime, right?
Right. When you act
like,
on it.
Yeah, like even let's just say it would have been justified in the moment. Let's say somebody did something to you that in the moment when this is being done to you, if you would have hurt them, killed them, whatever, it was justified. If you leave and you come back 5 minutes later, it's no longer justified, bro.
Okay, because this
you
is
had
where
5 minutes to call the cops, to whatever the fucking case was, to do the right thing, rather than go like adrenaline doesn't last that long.
Right.
Another thing about sorry, what were you saying, Fresh?
You'll get back to your right state of mind, like within those like 3 minutes, even.
Right. What you're saying,
another thing about my perspective is I grew up in combat sports, so you got immediate consequences for your actions. You're in the ring, you're fighting. Somebody hits you too hard in a sparring match, and you fucking hit them back really hard, and then they learn their lesson. You immediately you have, you know what I mean? Like, so I grew up having to weigh the consequences of my actions for an immediate result, not, if I get caught, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm in a ring with someone sparring. And like, if I hit them really hard, I know they're going to return that same energy to me. If it's about learning, that's one thing. If it's about ego, that's another thing. But like, so like growing up, that kind of set up my mindset to like think about my actions in the moment, even if I'm angry. And still, it doesn't always work out. You get angry.
Right. So I guess the question becomes in this situation, because it wasn't like the dad was doing something crazy and then they got in an altercation and then there's violence. This is like, it was premeditated for sure. Mm-hmm. Like they went to the gun store, they bought the shotguns. When they committed the crime, they went in, guns a-blazing, okay? The mother was still alive. And they went back, reloaded, went in, and blew her brains out.
Yeah, double tapped her.
Yeah. And it was, I don't know if you've seen the crime scene photos, but they are grisly. It's like, it's bloody. It's fucking nasty. So I guess the question then becomes, okay, the argument they're making is that's vigilante justice, right? This dude's doing grape soda.
Bro, listen,
it's vigilante
you have
justice.
to understand. I agree with that sentiment, right? I agree with the sentiment. Like, if this person does this stuff, somebody got to get him. If nobody's being able to arrest this guy, somebody's got to get him. The thing is, bro, the person who gets him has to understand he's going to sit down for life. To save the world, you got to go sit down. You don't get out anymore. You committed a gruesome crime. It was just for the greater good. The justice system is never going to be like, you know what, bro? It was justified.
Also, they were adults. They could have left the situation at any time and stayed away. They could have left the country. They could have done anything. They had so many options. And yeah, maybe some stuff happened to them while they were not adults, but they reached a point where they could have done whatever they wanted. They could have left the house. They could have done whatever, And
their choice was murder.
Even killing the dad is like not even true justice. And for them anyway. If he really did all that stuff, like he should go have the same things done to him in prison. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like,
I mean,
how are two grown, strong men? They're built athletes. Like they're not just like scrawny little boys. They're pretty like well built. Like they're athletic guys. How are they afraid of their dad? Who's
Well,
an
the
elderly
argument is that when they see the dad, they become those little boys again mentally, right?
I mean, which I
Every
can
time
understand.
they see him,
Sure.
that abuse comes back regardless of whatever. And you have to give that its space as well, right? But the thing is all those times you got away where you were away from them, even if it was to the corner store, you could have left, right? And like, again, he wasn't actively doing the thing anymore, bro. So like that PTSD, that all that stuff that's yours to deal with, as shitty as it is, bro. Yes, your dad gave it to you, but now you got to deal with it in the bounds of the law, bro. Sorry, like I know it
Okay,
sucks.
Let me ask you guys this question then, because I'd be going on X and just minding my own business, flipping through the feed, and usually every Friday night, Saturday night, for some reason, X starts putting up these dudes who be doing who take catch a predator and make it beat a predator to beat a predator's ass, basically. And I think they're real. I don't think these are fake. Where they, they do a sting op, their own little sting op, and they show up. And it's usually like a freaking like Target. I don't even know why.
Bro,
Why do they go to the
best
Target?
Is the
every
one
time?
that you sent me, bro, where Buddy lifts the guy up and then he like alley oops the punch and the guy knocks him back down to the ground. I'll be honest with you. Look, this is the different scenario, right? Buddy is actively committing the crime right there, right? Like you are a predator and you are out there to meet little kids, bro. What do you mean? Wow.
Well, what I
because
mean
he wasn't
is,
a kid, he wasn't committing a crime?
Let me, before anybody thinks that, listen, don't support that at all. I enjoy those videos. I love them. Okay. And I think they are a good deterrent for anybody thinking about doing that kind of stuff. Like you very well could wind up getting your ass beat. And that's always a great deterrent. Just ask anybody who wants to say the N word. It's a great deterrent. All right. To not say that. All right. So I'm in full, I like it, and I think there is a good from it. But we're talking about vigilante justice. What they could do is, and some do, they did it on To Catch a Predator. They have a police team ready. They can have the police team ready, set up. The guy comes in, they have all the evidence. He just gets arrested, nothing happens. But I'll tell you what, seeing that alley-oop and getting that dude, this shit's getting like Street Fighter Hadouken level with beating, these PDF files. Out in these streets, and I enjoy it. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't want those guys who are beating up these dudes to go to jail at all. I think they're exacting. I feel like there's room for vigilante justice.
Well, look, again, I'm not saying I disagree with vigilante justice. You just have to understand that there is also a justice system, right? So like, if you do things that are within the means of the law, then you're not going to go to jail. But if you break the law while you're exacting this vigilante justice, then you're breaking the law. Now, do I believe you're breaking the law if this predator is out there actively being a predator? No, I don't, bro. I don't. I think that when you're out there actively trying to meet children and you get beat the fuck up, you're lucky they didn't kill you.
Yeah. I just want people to make sure that they take care in how they do their justice, right? You can't entrap people. You need to catch people that would not likely, or that are likely to do stuff. Like they can't be, it has to be in a way that the police would conduct it, right? Like a private an investigator or a detective, not just
Even
like
if you do it that way, they don't accept it, right? Like the cops will be like, oh, we're not arresting him. Even if you have there's guys that these channels didn't start off with dudes knocking them out. It started off, they were trying to be Chris Hansen. And then they would call the cops and the cops would release the predator because Chris Hansen was working with the cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, and I would have preferred that, to be honest. I would prefer that they reach out to local law enforcement, and law enforcement should fucking work with the people that are doing that and be like, okay, this is good. This is not resources really for us. We don't have to be doing all these investigations and trying to catch these people. We got people that are doing it for us with our help. Send one officer there to arrest them. You know what I mean? Like
the problem is like there's onus of like chain of custody and evidence and stuff like that. That again, like these things are not exactly. This is where I take the Russia stance, bro. You heard about the guy in Russia that shot himself in the back 10 times and buried himself?
What?
Insane.
Yeah, bro. So some so listen, so some guy, his daughter got grape sodaed, okay?
Okay.
And then the guy found the guy who grape sodaed his daughter. And in court, the court found him not guilty and found that the guy, in fact, shot himself in the back 10 times and then buried his own dead body.
Damn, bro.
Hey, bro, don't grape soda people's kids. I'm just saying.
That's
bro.
crazy.
And that's it. Now, this is a different story. If the mom killed the dad, I think it's a different story, right? If the mom killed the dad for the brothers, I think the mom should be released. It's a different story. But I think that the brothers were out of there.
I mean,
many a time.
I will say, because I'm of two minds. Like on the one hand, I'm like, some people do heinous crimes and then they just get released, like all these sanctuary cities, and like some of the what's her name, recently that they talked about. I think it was a repeat offender, and he got released, and he ended up killing that chick in Georgia. What's her name? I forget. So, and that's been a couple of times now. So it's one of the things where there's a part of me that's like, I don't know. There is a role for vigilante justice, but I agree with you, Fresh. I think if you're going to exact vigilante, if you're going to be a Luigi Mangione, right? You may be a hero of the people for taking out one of these, whatever guys, who do these unfair practices, but the crime's the crime. You got to be willing to take pay the price.
There's
The thing about that though is I don't think that the healthcare CEO deserved to get shot, bro. Like, and granted, yeah, he's working that job, but there's a board of directors. There's like a significant number of people that have the deciding power over what happens in those companies.
Luigi showed his involvement with his grandmother's case or whoever it was, bro. Like he left all the evidence that showed bro is directly connected. However, sidebar, I still also do not believe that the CEO deserved to be executed in broad daylight, bro.
No. Yeah. If he did something that was like wrong, then like do it in the court of law. But if it's a business decision, then it's business, baby. All right. Choose a different business.
At least Luigi was a man about his shit, bro. He's like, I'm gonna off you, then I'm gonna go sit down. I stand on business.
Again, in his case, there are so many things around it that still have leave such a question mark. Like he's an interesting individual that surrounding his case. There's so many questions that hopefully get answered for people to figure out what the fuck. I mean, there's multiple motivators and the planning of it, the gun. There's so much, bro. How he was found.
There's a bunch of weird things.
Yeah.
Might be a psyop. Everything's a fucking psyop.
False flag of some sort, bro.
Kind of like Diddy's a psyop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, it is a psyop, bro. A lot of it is. Listen, all this shit that's coming out is making me feel like maybe we're getting fished along a trail, bro.
Well, okay, so let's talk about Diddy. So the story is this guy's out here grape sodaing, been doing it for years, and and he likes oil a lot. He likes oil, not the kind you cook with. He's been throwing parties. I'm not sure about. We'll get to Druski and all that in a sec, but the mainstream story is that this guy's a bad dude. And there is video of him running down a hallway, chasing after his ex or whoever, Cassie, and, letting her have it. That's there. It exists. But then, someone like Ye coming out and saying, listen, this is what they do, right? This is what they do. People like Diageo.
Well, he said, he's like, bro, they had that video. Like, that video is not even able to be used on an assault case because of statute of limitations. That's how old that video is. Can't even charge him with assaulting Cassie there, even though you see it live. That's how old that video is. So why is it coming out now? Because they need him for something. They're putting him away, whatever the case is, right? But like, this isn't happening now for no reason. However, there are some things that like, they have me guessing a lot of the shit, right?
I mean, two things can be true at once, always, right? First thing to be true is that Diddy's not a good dude. Diddy did beat up women. He may have done some grape sodaing. Those can be true. But the thing that can also be true is nothing. Nobody said nothing until he started saying, Diageo, pay up. Pay me my cut for these beverages I'm making with y'all. You know, quit calling me a black person drink. I want my shit to be presented to those good white folk, those good French elites. Because for anybody who doesn't know, from my understanding, you know, Diddy's had his what is it, Ciroc? He's had Ciroc for a long time. He's had it's his brand. He was one of the. I mean, that was the thing. I mean, it's a lot of like what Kanye's talking about. The guy. I mean, be fair, he is one of the hip hop mogul influencers. The idea of the hip hop mogul. I think before Diddy, was there ever a dude that was like? I mean, before Diddy, the hip hop mogul, the idea of like in the popular consciousness, I'm not just a rapper. I am a mogul. I'm making business moves. I'm on this tarmac with this private jet, you know, on these boats with Biggie. Like that idea really, I don't think existed before Diddy. That's like
Diddy.
I think that it was Suge, bro.
Suge.
I think Suge.
You're right.
First.
Suge Knight for sure.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit.
Why?
The idea of the gangster in that stuff, sure. I think that existed in the early 90s. But Suge was like he was record label
He was
boss.
a music exec. Yeah, he was
a boss.
There's also Birdman. There's also Birdman.
But I'm talking like a mogul, like who would be a mogul at that time?
Okay, who came first, P. Diddy or Master P? Because he was doing it out of the trunk of his car. I don't know.
I think Master P really, I mean, kind of same time, kind of Master P and Diddy, right? Kind of around about the same time. But again, even Master P, it was always street level. Like Diddy was, what I mean by mogul is like Diddy was trying to present something that was above street level. When you're in that private jet on the tarmac, whatever videos, and you're hanging out in Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying, and that kind of stuff. And look, that's like, we're not talking about street level gangster stuff. We're talking about like, I'm a mogul, I'm a businessman, I'm a CEO. You know, I'm out here doing CEO shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that Master P didn't do that either. I mean, he definitely does that now. He's a teacher and everything. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just sensing that really started with Diddy. I could be wrong. Anybody else willing to, you know, correct me, then fine. But anyway, my point is that like, this dude started that whole thing. He represents that whole thing. He has Ciroc. He was one of the first people that did a liquor for sure. And, you know, he's causing trouble with Diageo. And then all of a sudden, you know, his checker pass starts to make an appearance. I'm just saying. I mean, I understand that viewpoint too, that, you know, he was a protected guy until he wasn't.
Definitely. So I guess that's the thing is like, say, are we okay with the people who were protecting him? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, it's like, because I don't think that there's an argument to be made that Diddy's not a fucking evil man.
Sure. Yeah.
Who's done evil things. My argument would more so be like, look who's telling us and why aren't we taking them down too? Because they've been protecting him for all this time, the whole time. Like I said, like the video of Cassie is past statute of limitations, bro.
Well, think about that.
How long?
What hotel was that in? Who owns the hotel? Do they also traffic humans through that hotel? Is there more going on in the different places that different things happen that they don't just need to cover it up for Diddy's sake, but for their own sake in case someone starts digging into more research? Like there could be a really big network of fucking trafficking going on that's beyond Diddy, beyond Epstein. Those were just the blackmailers to keep people in line. But then there's a level above them that like manage the facilitation of all of the buildings they use and the travel and all of the things that they have, there's business deals going on around it. That's the level I want to get to.
Yeah.
No.
I agree. What? So with Druski, okay. So here's my understanding with Druski though. Well, first thing is I like Druski a lot. I think he's hilarious. So what is are there accusations? What's going on with him? Because I know that he is, there's a video of him saying, look, I hung out with Diddy, but we hung out at the normal party. I never did anything crazy. I don't know what.
So the accusation is by Ashley Parham.
Oh,
right?
there's an actual accusation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's court documents.
Oh shit. Okay.
The accusation is about him at a Diddy party in 2018 when Druski was still in the hood. He wasn't nobody yet. And I'm pretty sure Drake is kind of the reason for Druski's career, getting a kickstart.
Okay.
So you talk shit about Drake?
No, they're boys.
Okay. So you're saying that Druski's being targeted because of Drake?
So I feel like this shit is just I'm not saying it even is to do with Drake, but I'm just saying he's not even connected to Diddy when he first came up. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
He wasn't in the industry, wasn't going to parties, he was living in the hood.
Right.
So there's no basis.
What is she saying exactly? What is she saying he did? He grape soda'd her or what?
Yes.
The filing claims Diddy instructed Druski to assault Parham. According to the document, instead of immediately grape sodaing plaintiff, defendant Druski doused plaintiff with more oil and then jumped on top of the plaintiff's naked and oiled body, treating it like a slip and slide.
Oh my gosh.
Bro.
Whoever wrote
knocking the wind out of the plaintiff due to his enormous size.
This
sounds like a Druski skit.
I'm telling you, did Druski write this for her?
I'm sorry. It's never okay to grape soda, but this shit sounds like a fucking Druski skit, bro. All right. I didn't even know all that. Okay. I mean, okay, so there's two sides of this, right? And Ye's going through this too. All right. If you are a man of wealth, you know what I'm saying, and you're acting a little footloose and fancy free. You ain't found the woman in your life that's going to be the one that's going to be your partner, right? You're out here living a wild time. It's really easy for someone to just come in and say, hey, I was at this party, he was at the party, and this happened to me. And then it becomes he said, she said, and then it becomes I don't want to damage my reputation. Let me just pay this person off and sweep it under the rug. And then it still looks bad because you paid someone off to sweep it under the rug, but doesn't mean that you did anything. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, you get Diddy running down a hallway in his towel, beating the crap out of somebody. So it's it's always challenging because it's one of those things. I mean, people say believe everybody. I'm like, you gotta have the evidence. I'm sorry. You gotta have some evidence. You gotta have something to show that says, hey, this actually happened. And I don't know.
I'd say if you don't have the evidence and then it comes out that it's not true, you got to serve that time.
Ooh.
Can't be out here falsely accusing people of stuff like that.
Yeah,
grape soda is very serious, bro. You never get that stain out.
Yeah.
What if
there should be a felony defamation of character, which I think there is.
What should it be based on? Because I agree with you. If people are just coming out here making accusations, you got to go to court and then you got to pay them off just to get them off your case. For sure, I think it's wrong, and they should face punishment for that one way or another. Either a fine or what you're talking about. They got to do some time. On the flip side, if you do that, but you don't seal the deal, you present the evidence, but it doesn't constitute whatever. I mean, because sometimes bad people get away with shit because they got better representation. I mean, that would be the argument.
There are misdemeanors for defamation in some jurisdictions, but not directly, and they're not really enforced in the U.S. due to free speech laws.
Okay.
So yeah, there are, there is criminal defamation, but good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Alex Jones got off, I guess, huh?
Dang. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and then here's the other thing. Sometimes people are dicks. They're really mean, right? Like you could have a boss who's an asshole and you hate that person, you know what I'm saying? Or they treated you wrong or they fired you. And as a way of getting back, you drag their name through the mud, which, isn't right. But, that happens. Like people get resentful, people get angry, and so, okay, what can I do to get back and make a little extra cash? So I don't know until there's like a Cassie-like video where you see something, or unless they can really present an airtight case. But even then, unless Diddy's giving him up, like how's anybody going to know?
Nah, Druski's not in that shit. They also, I think they also try to get Odell Beckham Jr. though as well.
Oh,
like they're out here trying to get a lot of people. Now this is where I think it's going to be like Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, where like one person came to court and then all of a sudden everybody was grape soda. You know what I mean?
So one other thing that's happening, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, is Candace Owens has been interviewing Harvey Weinstein from prison. So she was on Theo Vaughn, and Theo asked her about it, and she basically said, yeah, he's a terrible person, and he uses power and all this stuff. But she's saying she does not believe that he grape sodaed anybody. That it was all, it may be coercion, but it wasn't grape soda. It was just, whatever. That's what she's saying. So
yeah, it's like using your power and stuff like that.
Sure.
So like in this house, we watch Candace, okay? And like I heard her announce that she was doing it before she's started even releasing the interviews. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, like, regardless of whatever, like it changed my perspective on him, but it doesn't mean I don't think this is an evil man by any means, right?
Right.
So
I mean, it's one thing to be a jerk. It's another thing to be a grape soda, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Listen, abusing your power is fucked up. Again, you're
Quid
evil.
pro
you're
quo.
fucked up.
If using quid pro quo is different than if he was like just trapping women somewhere and like forcibly doing something.
Yeah,
they very different.
Yeah,
like different things.
Because that was my understanding, is that he was literally he trapped a chick and was doing his thing. That's what I understand. But again, kind of what we talked about last stream, ladies. No more grape soda fantasies. Sorry. You gotta stop these grape soda fantasies. Because who knows what's what? You know what I'm saying? Because he could just claim, well, it was a part of a kink that we have, blah, 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 yada, yada,
She told me to choke her. How did I know she'd pass out?
At the end of the day, where it's gonna get to is men are going to like literally require contracts with women to have sex with them. Like it's going to get there. They're going to be like, I need you to write down on this paper that, everything that we did tonight was consensual. Like that's where it's going to get to, like a
We're going to end this episode with a idea. Okay. We're going to create this on the blockchain, bro. We're going to create immutable contract DApp.
Damn, that's actually fire, bro.
Bro, it is. When my phone and your phone hit together,
the name of it is called consent. The name of the app is called consent.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a digital where you can make a digital contract with somebody to prove like you have consent to do what it is that you're doing.
And it only works with biometrics. So you like me and you would tap phones so that we both have each other's names on the contract, but then your eyes got to be on the camera and you got to scan your fingerprint.
See, there's a challenge here. There's a challenge in the problem is that when you're in the heat of the moment and the passions are high, it's very difficult to suddenly calm it down and have a rational discussion about consent.
Then you cannot cry. If you didn't have the wherewithal to sign the contract, you can't cry when she yells grape soda.
Yeah, I mean,
chat, what do you think?
If there's no solution, that's the only solution, right? Like the only solution is documentation. If everything that you do is going to result in some kind of court case, you just got to see. Lisa says, why not? Lisa says, why not? Why not have a letter that you both sign that says,
we're
getting freaky tonight. And there might be whips, chains, handcuffs, ties, whatever you want.
It don't work
might
like
happen,
that.
but it was
It don't work like that.
It
consensual.
does, because listen. Also, you can scan your shit and be like, I take back consent now and I'm leaving. Right. So everything that happened up to the point where I take back my consent and I leave is good. But then from this point on, if you touch me, you're cooked.
See, that. I don't know about that.
Why
I
not?
don't know about that.
Why not,
These
bro?
guys
How
make
else
it
are you supposed to do
now.
it?
Because
So-
somebody.
Because what
somebody
happens,
would find
bro?
a way
No,
to
because it's
use
too
that.
dangerous. Then I don't want to make this app. Because what happens if you go to sleep?
So listen,
We've made consent. You go to sleep, then she starts having sex with you while you're sleeping, or vice versa. But you gave consent.
I just think it's
But
like
you're passed out, but you gave consent.
that's what I'm
I don't
saying.
like it. I don't like it. It's too
It's
slippery. I don't like it.
listen, everybody. Just don't have, dangerous encounters, risky.
Whip out your phone
passionate.
and record a video and be like,
Don't have
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
risky, passionate, encounters with each other. Instead, do the right thing, be celibate, get married, and then work it out with your partner. That's what I say.
Hey man, God would agree with you.
There we go. All right. Well,
you'll avoid a lot of drama that way, probably.
no more, put the sheets up with the hole in it. Only for the production of children.
We're
Okay,
going
go
full
get yourself a
soak mode.
chastity
Like,
belt,
God
bro.
damn.
Go get yourself a chastity belt while you're at it, bro.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Lock in.
Look, listen, let's toast to that. You're gonna toast to celibacy. You're gonna toast to, putting your ding in that little team cage.
I'm married, so I don't need to worry about any
Yeah.
of that.
Even if you're married, you gotta have consent. You gotta work out in advance what.
I mean, that is
Is
true.
okay.
That is true. Maybe not the advanced thing, but like, bro,
Oh, no, well in
consent is
advance.
still consent, bro.
Well in advance. But you can't work
But
it out in the heat of the
when
moment.
you're
You gotta
married,
decide
though,
in advance.
When you're married, you can have legal quid pro quos. You see what I mean? Like,
Wait. Before we
when
go,
you're married, you can get away with legal quid pro quos.